and this part of the video is the last part of the instructional videos for the Rubik's Cube, and finally we come to the last big step for the mice method, the last layer. But because we've done the first two layers before, so when we are solving the third layer, we need to make sure that these first two layers are not destroyed. So we need some more complicated algorithms to do that. So it may take more time for me to explain that to you. And now let's just review what will we do in the third layer, because in the third layer we have 4 steps to do to make sure this layer is done. And let's review. The first part of the third layer is to make a cross. Make a cross. So this cross is not like the cross in this first layer. This cross just needs to satisfy the first factor. Like all you need to do is just make a yellow cross here, and that's all. That's all you need to do. And you don't need to consider about if they are matched. If they are matched, that doesn't matter. Okay, so after we completing the cross, we will complete the whole face. The thing we need to complete is just the facing direction of the face. Like, we need to make the whole face are yellow, which is yellow of the top layer, and still we don't need to consider about if the corners and the edges are in the right position. And after making sure that the facing direction of those yellow things are done, we need to modify the position of those 4 corners. So as you can see that these two corners are done because use the lighthouse effect. This yellow, orange, blue. So that means the corner here should be yellow, orange, blue. And if you check it, you can see that the corner is yellow, orange, blue. That's right. And similarly, here should be yellow, blue, red. And the corner here is yellow, blue, red. But if you see this side, here should be yellow, green, orange. But here is the yellow, green, red. So that's not matched. So the position of these 2 corners, in fact, they are not correct. So we need to modify that. So that's the third step. And after we modify these 4 corners, as you can see that they are all correct. They are all matched now. All we need to do is just to modify these 4 edges. So this edge should be red, but it is orange. This should be blue, but it's green. Just all the faces, just something like that. So the last step is just to modify the position of these 4 edges. And then after we've done the 4 steps, we've done the third layer, and then we've done the whole Rubik's Cube. So that's basically what I will teach you in this part of the video. Okay, so now let's first look at the first small step, how to make a cross. So for this step, I will introduce to you a new algorithm, and this is a basic situation, and there are also 2 extra special situations, but for them we still only need 1 algorithm, the same algorithm, because this is a basic situation, and this is the first special situation, and this is the second special situation. But in fact, I can use the algorithms to convert this special situation into the basic situation, like that. And I can also use algorithms to convert this basic situations to other special situation. In this special situation, we can also use algorithms to convert it into the basic situation. So let's see, what is algorithms? The algorithm here is, there's a little bit complicated, but if you use the trick, like the law of the algorithm, you can definitely easily memorize it. This is for the basic situation. It is number one like that, but we use it like this. Like this is a Chinese character 1, E, and we can do the algorithms on this side, also on this side. So both this side and this side are okay, but we can do the algorithm like that or like that. So just choose randomly one side, and I will do the algorithm now. The front face clockwise, the right face clockwise, upper face clockwise. So that's a three clockwise rotation. And then use the law of algorithm. There should be the other three inverse steps. So that means the following steps are the three counterclockwise. So right face counterclockwise, upper face counterclockwise, and then front face counterclockwise. That's the 6 steps, and the algorithm is done, and then we can see that we've successfully made a cross. Okay, I will do that again. We put the Rubik's Cube like that, and then front face. So you can separate the 6 steps algorithm into 2 groups. The first group is clockwise group, and the second group is counterclockwise group. So we do the first clockwise group first. Front, right, up, and then the second group, counterclockwise group, right, up, front. Okay, you can just pause here and try to memorize the algorithms, and yeah, it's very, very easy. Now we are talking about the special situation. The first situation. Just now, the basic situation is just like a number 1, but that special situation just only 1 dot. So only 1 centerpiece. So that's kind of so sad, but that's okay. And to some extent, it's better to understand because just because it is only 1 dot, so it doesn't really matter how you put this Rubik's Cube. You can do the algorithms here, also here, also here, also here. Just make sure the dot is facing upwards. And we need to do that algorithm again. The first group, clockwise, front, right, up. And then second group, counterclockwise, right, up, front. And then we can see that dot special situation become the second situation. It's like a small L, but we can only do the algorithms like that. So if you put your Rubik's Cube like that and do the algorithms, front, right, up, front, nothing will change. So you need to do that like this, like a L in the mirror. And then now you do the algorithms, front, right, up, front. then you will find that that special situation becomes the basic situation, the number 1. But you need to do that like that, and you can do that again. Front, right, up, front. Okay, let's do a very quick summary. So in the first step, we can only just apply one single algorithms, which is clockwise and counterclockwise algorithm, and that is front, right, up, clockwise, and then right, up, front, counterclockwise. And then we need to paying attention to how we put this Rubik's Cube when we are doing the algorithms. If we are doing the situation 1, this situation, the only thing we need to notice is to make this dot facing upwards. That's enough, and we can do the algorithms. And then if we are doing the second situation, the little L situation, we need to put the Rubik's Cube like that, like we see a L in the mirror, and then we can do the algorithms. And if here is a situation which is the basic situation, we need to notice that we need to put the Rubik's Cube like make this number 1 horizontal, like this. We can do that like that or like that, and do the algorithms again. Then we can get across. And after doing this, completing this cross, we can consider about how to do make sure the corners are all facing upwards. The yellow are all facing upwards. And here we need 2 algorithms, but in fact they are symmetrical. Like if you know one of them, like this algorithm is mainly use your right hand, and the other algorithm is just using your left hand and doing the same thing. So that's symmetrical. And now let's learn the basic situation and the special situations. The basic situation is like that. So I named this situation as like a fish. Using your imagination, you'll find that here's the fish, the head of the fish, and here are the tail of the fish. And our algorithm is just the story I made up is kind of cruel because my story is cutting a fish. So that's a kind of cruelty, but it is really easy for you to understand. So you consider the third layer, the top layer itself is a turntable, and your right hand is like a knife. First, you want to cut the tail of the fish, and then the turntable turns, and then cut another one, tail of the fish, and then the turntable turns, you cut the head of the fish, and then you just need to make the turntable back to his position, and then you will find that all the yellow are facing upwards. So if you think that is too cruel, yes, there's another thing. You can use the law of the algorithms to memorize it too. Here's a basic situation, and the only thing you know is that the only thing you will need to do is just to turn the right face and the upper face. And if you just focus on single face, you will find the law of algorithms works very well here. If you just focus on the right face, you will find that it will down a little bit and up, and then down, and then up. So the sum of the rotating angle will be 0 degrees at last, which means everything will covered in every step has its inverse step. And if you focus on the upper face, you will find that (90° clockwise, 90° clockwise, and 180 degrees clockwise. And if you add them up, you will find that it will be a 360 degrees clockwise. So in fact, that will make the same effect as the 0 degrees. Everything will reach the balance. So now you can memorize like that. Your right face down, and your upper face come to the right face, and then you rotate the right face counterclockwise. So you need to turn it clockwise, and then the upper face still come to the right face, and then down, and then come to the right face 2 times, and then up. So, or you can